Do we have picture? Are we live? I am not seeing any picture. All right, there we go. So how's everybody doing today? This is our unpopular opinions, our open discussions. Today's topic is about gun control. If you do have any opinions about gun control, please go ahead and join the chat. We like to hear your voice. Let's see how we do. We got Louis Baca. How you doing, man? I'm doing great. Oh man, I'm gonna say Dee just to make sure I don't mess it up. But I'm doing great, man. How are y'all doing? How you doing, Noli? Again, we're going to share the link in the comments there. If you do want to join the discussion, you always can join. The main thing I ask is no illegal images. That's about it. Any illegal images will be reported. Here we go. Hello, Noli.
Hey, how are you?
Here we go. I'm doing great. I can barely hear you. Barely hear you.
Hang on just a second, and I will turn up my mic.
There we go. I'm hoping Joe Coolidge jumps in here because that'd be very awesome to hear his opinion on gun control.
Did you message him?
I did message him. I messaged him. I told him it'll be at 7:30. If he wants to join again, there's no obligation to join. It's just anybody who wants to. But I can hear you a lot better now.
Yeah. Is Deldo? Is that right?
I was calling Del Dee just to make sure I don't mess it up, but Del Do is how you pronounce it. Del Do.
It's pretty clever if it's trying to be clever, and if it's not, his parents were mean.
So mainly the main thing I want to discuss is Second Amendment rights. My short opinion about Second Amendment rights, or at least my thoughts on it, is I believe that as a citizen of the United States, you should have the right to own any firearm that the military has. There shouldn't be any restrictions on firearms. I think keeping them out of the hands of felons is a good thing. But in the long run, I still believe that most people should own firearms and have the same equivalency as the military does. And that's just the short way of keeping it. But what's your opinion on that, Noli?
Similar. With the felon thing, I'm more like, if you are a violent criminal or you have committed several person-to-person crimes, like, armed robbery or whatever, then
right.
Yeah, you should probably not be allowed to have your guns for like 10 years after you're off paper.
And
if you redeem yourself in that 10 years, if you get your shit together, you should not have to fight to get your fucking gun rights back. You should be allowed to have them guns. And I agree 100% with that. You should be able to own anything the military owns because, the Constitution says so, God damn it.
Right. And let me clarify with the felon thing. I believe if you are a felon, you should be able to own a weapon if your crime that you've committed was a non-violent crime. Because again,
or some shit,
Yeah. Most people are going in, becoming felons because of drug use, something like that, but if you haven't harmed anybody, if you had no victim in the crime, I think you should be able to have a gun. But again, when it comes to like violent acts, I'm like, you probably don't need a gun. Like, oh, you stabbed 3 people and they all survived somehow. Yeah, you probably don't need a gun.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But there's felonies out there that are ridiculous. My nephew got a felony for getting into a fight, but his racist prick was just fucking with him and fucking with him and fucking with him and kept shoving him around. And finally, my nephew had enough. And so my he wrestled and he boxed and he played football. He looked small, but he wasn't small.
Yeah.
And he fucked a guy up pretty fucking bad. Well, even though the other guy started it, my nephew, first offense ever, goes to prison. Right out of high school.
Yeah.
And, I think that, he's been around guns his whole fucking life, and he would never point one at a person. I know he wouldn't.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, there's always certain circumstances to it, but I only reserve my judgment to people who've actually hurt people unprovoked. Like I said, if you stab 3 people, you don't need a gun. If you say, oh, I got into a fight with somebody, it just didn't end well. I say, the details I'm not going to ask about. All right, you got into a fight, whatever. Fights happen.
Or something like that. I mean, in some states it's a felony, in others it's a misdemeanor, and in others you can get like 3. You get picked up for it like 3 times before it becomes a felony offense. If you get trespassed on a piece of property where, say, you're camping out at or whatever,
yeah.
Sometimes in a lot of states they will turn that into a felony instead of a misdemeanor.
You know what I did find out? How you doing, Real Jingy? Yeah, I found out there's like that felons can't buy guns, but they can still buy crossbows and like bow and arrow. So I think even long rifle, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not.
It's a black powder rifle you can have. You can't have any rifle. It's got to be a black powder because it's not considered a gun.
Yeah. So I was confused on that one. I know somebody said he can have a rifle, but he can't own the guns. I was like, I don't understand that. Either I was
like you can't have like a 30-06 or some shit, or fucking a 22. You can't even have a 22.
Yeah, I don't agree with a lot of restrictions that they have on U.S. citizens to not own guns. The main thing I find ridiculous is like the attachments you can have on guns now. Like certain things you put on your gun can make you into a criminal, right? Did you know, like, if you made an AR pistol, right? If you made an AR pistol and put a foregrip on it, you've actually committed a crime.
Oh yeah, and that's so stupid. It's literally just one little piece that's hanged down so that you have better control over what you're aiming at. Like, what the fuck? That's what?
Yeah.
Sense. I don't know who made up this rule or what they thought they were going to accomplish with it.
Yeah, there's no reason for. I don't see any reason to have a restriction on any type of gunware.
Explosives, maybe. Some kind of a regulation, not so much restriction, but regulation on them. Just because assholes like to throw them in the water and go fishing with that shit, and that's a bunch of crap.
Yeah. What do you think about the laws in Chicago?
I think they're complete bullshit, and they're either clearly not working at all in the tiniest bit, or it's the cops who have been murdering all those fucking people whose bodies turn up full of bullet holes.
How you doing, Shane?
One or the other.
Rotten, but I'm getting better at it.
But
I didn't mean to step on you. What's name?
Not allowed to do that.
So how you doing, Shane?
Rotten, but I'm getting better at it.
That's good. That's good.
Hey, I bought a new toy for my 308.
Nice, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, laser sight and all.
Oh, really?
Nice little attachment. Now I gotta sight it in. Oh God, that's gonna be fun. Oh,
How you doing,
sorry.
Joe?
I had to brag. Okay, go on, sweetie. Go watch it. Go on. Go on, sweetie.
Oh, sweet baby.
Go on.
Why do you have it in the garden?
I know. I got it sitting right there. All right. Okay. Sorry. Adorable just left the room.
No problem.
All right.
He's so cute. Oh my God.
I know. Good Lord.
So Shane, what is your thought on the Chicago laws on gun control?
Chicago has got to be the worst place in the world. Okay. I've got. Oh Lordy. If you want tyrannical, you can go there. Okay. Between there and California, no thanks. Nice place to visit, see the scenery, but I'm getting the hell out as soon as I can. All right. And, if you want to get shot at, but not be able to buy the gun of your choice, hey, fine, go there. Have fun.
So I did look up some of the laws in Chicago, and I found out that in order for you to even buy ammo, you have to have a firearms owner's identification issued by the police. So the police have to know that you are a firearms owner and that you're, about to buy ammo before you're even allowed to go to the store and buy ammo for your own gun. What do y'all think about that?
I think it's just too much. I mean, I get regulation. I really do. I feel like I like my idea with the RFID fingerprint gun locks on the triggers, because I've used them. I've used a weapon that had them on there, and people say, oh, well, if you don't get your finger on there just right, you'll be dead. Bullshit. It takes literally less than fucking an eighth of a second to get your finger on there and for it to unlock. They work great.
To me, it's like asking the government permission before you have to buy Charmin to wipe your ass before you can take a shit. Okay? I'm sorry. Or asking, or literally showing them that you have a truck before you can buy tires and gas, so that you have permission to buy the tires and buy the gas to put on your vehicle and in your vehicle, so you can then go down and purchase the oil to put in your vehicle, so you can change the oil and buy the filter so you can drive cross country with your papers, okay? So you can go visit grandma next month. All right. As long as you don't get pulled over for doing 2 miles an hour over the limit, all right, and have more than $10,000 on your person, because that would be, of course, a sin. Okay, and we'll confiscate that money, because the money's guilty. Not saying you're guilty, but the money's guilty. All right, because that would be confiscating funds. And then, Jesus Christ, Mother May I has gotten a little out of hand, which is why these protests are happening. All right. The whole reason that I carry a firearm is they will pry it out of my cold, dead hand before they get it.
So now that the riots are going on, and also peaceful protests, and also side note, the end result is the additional rioters who want to mix up everything. do you think it's more of a necessity to own a firearm in this, day and age? I say day and age loosely.
Absolutely. Okay. I'm not faulting anybody for going to a protest or going to a peaceful protest or whatever. Well, we had a couple of buses show up, and myself and about 6 other biker buddies. Okay. Now, all I do is I drive my truck because I can no longer ride a bike. Okay. I had an aircraft flight surface land on my spine, and it screwed up my spine, the back of my neck, both knees, and my ankle. So I can't do that no more. All right. Well, what I do is I drive around, and if one of their bikes goes Tango uniform or tits up, okay, I don't want to say that too loud. She's still in the other room. All right. But if it goes Tango uniform, all right, I load it up and I bring them back. Okay. But I also bring along oil, extra cans of gas, I bring along all that stuff in case we have a breakdown, so on and so forth, right? I've also been known to bring along a couple of spare changes, tires and whatnot, camping gear, et cetera. But I keep my butt in the motel, all right? I also make sure that, wherever we go, we, have whatever going on. And, oh, that's why I can't see it. Hey, Nolly. Anyway, but I always bring along my weapon, right? Well, we went down and we saw some folks pulling in, and we saw some buses and stuff, and some of these not so local yokels, okay, started climbing off the bus and so on and so forth. And the reason I know they're not so local yokels is because we're kind of a small community around here. So we kind of know people. And not that we don't want the local businesses to get stuff. But when a guy with an umbrella on a 82-degree day in full, with a balaclava on, with a hammer in one hand and an umbrella in the other, walks straight up to one of our local stores and starts busting out a window. And I'm down at the end of the block. I walk up to him and I says, "You're about to get shot." And he turns around, he climbs back on the bus, and they all leave. Okay, sweetheart, you got to go in the other room. Go in the other room. There's cartoons on. Yes, I know. Go on. Yeah, go on. Go on. Quit being cute. Go on. It's kind of impossible for that. It's impossible for her to quit being cute, I swear. Get.
Needs a shot because she has a super bad headache.
Okay, just let her be nice in there and be cool for a little bit, and we'll deal with that in a minute. Anyway, he returns to the bus. They climb in, they go down ways, and they waited on the outskirts of town. One of the local sheriffs talks to the bus, and the sheriff came back to me and wanted to arrest me for terroristic threats. I says, "How did you know it was me?" He says, "Well, I don't know that it was you. Is it somebody over here threatened one of those people on the bus with a threat of violence? And I'm trying to figure out who it was. They described you, and I'm like, really? How do you know it was me? How do you know it wasn't anybody else around here? And so far, they're letting it go, but something tells me it's not so much Antifa as it's maybe a wanderlust paid by somebody
So
to
I think
wander into towns and such.
I've
You
been
know,
seeing a lot of
you get what I'm putting down?
I've been seeing a lot of media and also a lot of videos on both sides. Again, I think I know exactly what you're talking about, where people are busting out windows and they're paid protesters. Who was it who joined in last night? Said, you don't think the situation is going to stop until George Soros runs out of money, is what he says. But I'm not making that claim. I'm just saying, what I hear. But I do see where that officer who was busting out windows, and he's been verified as an officer who was busting out windows as soon as the peaceful protest walks by, and he started, raiding and AutoZone and breaking into stores. In that situation, I would have advised the man to stop what he's doing and move along. But if he continues to destroy the store, hey, I'm not saying
it kind of got me off because I know the guy that owns the store, and believe me, if the guy that owned the store would have been there, he would have just gone ahead and shot first and asked questions later. Because up here we have castle doctrine, so.
Oh yeah, and I think that would be totally justified. Anyway, I live in Texas, so I understand the castle doctrine. Even when
hey, I gotta go. Supper's ready.
Adios, Shane. Thank you for
I
joining.
got supper ready.
Yeah,
I'll be back in a little bit.
No problem. Even when
you're still here.
Fort Worth, I should be here. When the Fort Worth incident happened, where the lady got shot in her own home. How you doing, Joe Cool?
What's up? I'm at my apartment, man. My internet is spotty here, but the house is not far. If my internet drops, then I'll run to the crib. I'm only like 5 minutes away from the other house.
No worries, man.
Knocked out. I just got a call or a text or something. I was like, I'm gonna let this nigga down again. Oh my God, no.
No. There's no letting me down, man. I understand. Everybody's busy. Everybody has there's no obligation to join this chat. I promise you. If you don't make it, I don't hold any grudges or nothing. I promise.
I know you don't, G. I'm one of those guys, bro. I need you to do well. Like more than you want you to do well, I want you to do well.
Yeah.
So if I could help any fucking way.
Yeah. So Joe, I was mentioning just a few minutes ago about apparently in Chicago. I'm not sure if you can verify this. Apparently in Chicago, in order for you to buy ammo, is there such thing as a firearms owner ID to buy ammo? If you may know that information.
There is, which is crazy. Which is crazy as fuck. I don't think in Chicago per se. In parts of Illinois, I don't know if it's here. I don't even know if they sell ammo in here. There used to be stores like that. Can't think of one in Chicago that even sell ammo anymore. Not one. So you got to go to the suburbs and shit like that. And also, they're illegal here in Chicago. You're allowed to have. You can have them if you got a FOIA card, a FOID card. You got to go through so many permits to jump through hoops in order on the weapon here, and pistols are not legal per se unless you go through shit. I certainly couldn't own one, and I'm told that even if you're a felon, I don't know about this for sure, you can own at least a shotgun here. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah. I know. like I said, like I think my buddy, he said like he couldn't buy a pistol, he couldn't buy a rifle, but I think he said he can buy like a long rifle for hunting.
Yes, they
It's,
got
it's something like that. I don't know. I'm not well versed in it, so I didn't speak on it too much. I just said, hey man, this is what the dude told me. He said he can't buy it. I don't know much about it, but if you know about it, please educate me.
Right. I don't either. And I had like about 14 guns taken from me by the cops. Honest gas made.
Guys.
Hello, darling.
What's up, chum? Anyway, let me see what's on your head. Let me blow this shit up. Some shit you done made with the third. I had in the middle. You should be extremely bright wearing that damn thing, bro. With that third eye, you should be able to know all, see all.
Yeah. I think Chicago needs a whole reform on their gun laws, man. Like, in my opinion, I never lived there because I heard like it's so restrictive on people who want to be an owner of a firearm. So
that's beautiful.
It's just so much.
You gotta imagine this too, G. This is what scares me. This is the big city thugs gangs, blah 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 blah. And you've taken. I understand that people make you believe that you're the overseer, not an officer. You're an overseer, and it's your job to whenever the fucking dog get away, we're supposed to call the police. Certainly, you're supposed to have a monopoly on violence, and we're supposed to depend on you. In this city in particular, which is why I say how tough it is, we're supposed to depend on a phone call to save us every fucking time. That may work somewhere else, but you can't be everywhere at once in this motherfucker. It's not possible. And this is the place you've chosen to take away a person's ability to protect themselves, where it's needed most. And then I think that also causes a cycle. If we realize that no one has a gun, you got more idiots that are going to act out and do crime. Just logical. In the country, you're not going to go break in that man's house because you get shot. I knew that when I was a kid. If you're in that man's yard in the country, that you can get shot in Arkansas and all of that shit. But here, you can get away with it. Your only worry is how fast does the police take to get there. I think they're hurting us. I think they're responsible for a lot of fucking. I shouldn't say responsible. They could stop. Maybe they are responsible. They could stop a lot of the fucking violence and crime and abusing the regular citizen. If they just gave us our Second Amendment fucking rights back.
Yeah, I think there needs to be a whole reform.
For that matter, if it says you have right to bear arms shall not be infringed. What do they get off anyway? Telling me I need a permit. I need to do this. What do they get off? Altering my ability to just walk up and go to you and buy a weapon.
I really think the permits in general are, like you said, it infringes on you. I think anytime that you need a permit to buy anything or you need permission to buy something, it's infringing on my right to do it. To me personally, I really believe I should be able to go to the store right now without any paperwork, and the main question that the seller should ask me, hey, have you ever been in prison? Have you ever had a felony? All right, doom. That's it. Oh, go ahead.
Well, no, I was going to say about that, what you just said, that felony shit, I don't think that matters. I think they put that in my head, in your head. Even with a felony, if I go out here and fucking sell drugs and catch a felony, why do you think you have the right to take my fucking gun? What's one thing got to do with the other? I think you have an argument, G, if you're like, now this nigga's killed 2 people with a gun. You give him, he's, now y'all talk to you. But as far as just a felony under fucking Illinois law or America, no.
Yeah, I did mention felonies earlier, and let me just I'll reiterate what I said. I agree that violent felons should not be owning guns, right? So if you're in the pen for selling weed or doing drugs, or the only time I think that you should not own a gun is if you've actually had a victim in your livelihood. You know what I mean? So if you call somebody to be a victim, I don't think you should own guns. But I think Gas wants to say something here.
Go ahead, Gas.
instinctively go towards, because I just a split second had to think for. I would instinctively go towards the only way for there to not be an ability to abuse it is by the extreme. It's either you can get a gun by walking into a store with not even if you're a felon, or we just keep piling on regulations until it's all where we are today.
Right. If you once you go down that road, it's a slippery slope, and you're gonna end up piling on regulations. I agree with you.
Right. But at the same time, what got me thinking, what GTAG just said, is that it's or UPOS is that without the
zombie. Hey, hold on. Let me invite some motherfuckers. You're not about to end this, are you?
And that thanks to Noli D, I didn't even know this thing was even happening. I was modding over at SGB. He was doing live for a little bit.
Fuck that square. I'm kidding. I like SGB. But if you gotta be a second, let me invite some niggas to the panel.
It's an open discussion. You was allowed in.
Okay, I mean, not to the panel. I mean, into the room. Let me text some niggas. Give me like 2 minutes to get us some company.
I saw the thing about gun control. The only gun control you need is to be able to hit your target on spot.
You damn to be able to control your fucking aim. Right the fuck up.
Exactly.
Right on.
Exactly.
So, guys, what were you saying earlier?
I was saying that at the same time, sorry, I know I don't mind the interruption. Is that GTAG had an interesting point in that
was about the felons?
Without regulation, neither one is a good option, I'd say. It's really more about like, are we willing to let people who are going to tell us what to do run the show, or are we going to do what we want? But the trouble is that people doing what they want includes things like eating people and robbing them and raping. And I think that if we were going to have the better extreme, it would be that everyone can have a gun. Doesn't matter if. Well, man, that's a really tough one, GTAG.
Here's the thing, and anybody can do whatever they want unless it encroaches on what I'm doing, and it doesn't matter. And I mean, if someone wants to smoke crack, that's up to them. If someone wants to smoke weed, it's up to them. If someone wants to do heroin, that's up to them. If someone's an alcoholic, and that's up to them. But but the moment that whatever they are doing starts interfering with me, then they're out of line. Because I consider any type of drug addiction, alcohol or whatever. I'm not even counting marijuana. That's not I don't consider that a drug. I don't consider that a drug. I mean, I don't consider alcohol really a drug unless you're an alcoholic per se, but those are illnesses, and they shouldn't be punished for that. And but if that said illness causes someone to steal from me or damage property or hurt somebody, then those are crimes, and stuff like that. But guns I think everybody should have one, including any felons, except for violent felons.
Well, the thing we're having to deal with here is that the wording is pretty specific in that it's very broad. You can't, as in shall not be infringed, includes felons. So the debate here is probably more on whether the wording is even where you can even stop felons from having guns, because
you really can't.
Right.
And if they want to have a gun, they're going to have a gun. They just go down to the local Quickie Mart and go behind the store and buy them out of a trunk somewhere.
Yeah, and that's I guess I suppose it would be more or less a good direction to just be less government for sure. Like having to do all the
Definitely.
like they made it mandatory that you had to have a background check, and now they don't even in some places they don't even do background checks until the whole crap is blown over, and it's just like, well, there's just one more way they can cut it off in a second.
They actually they're still doing background checks. They're still doing background checks.
I guess maybe that was during the worst part of the quarantine.
And they what they weren't doing is fingerprinting for gun permits.
Oh yeah.
And because background checks, all you do is fill out a form and fax it in, or go onto a computer and enter the information, and they look at it and run your stuff and that kind of stuff. Even that, I don't think it's really necessary.
Nice. Yeah, like my thought is this about like when it comes to like felons. So it's like the ATF runs pretty much all gun sales. You know what goes on. They're the ones who make the laws. They're the ones who put it on the books. And I find it ridiculous that we already have a background check. We do background checks all the time. We can see, okay, you did this type of felony back in the day, where a victim, say let's make it way ridiculous. A mother and a child were harmed, right? That way, I know you're making an argument to make you emotional, right? A mother and child were harmed by this man. This person's going to go to the gun store. They're going to do their little forms. So they're going to go ahead and look at it, look at the background, and say, okay, this felony, involved a mother and child being harmed, and it makes you, oh shit, what should I do? But still, that doesn't stop the gun seller from selling that gun, right? He can sell it. He can sell that today. He can sell that right now. He can still sell it. The ATF just says, hey, no, we don't do it. But he can still do it. There's nothing stopping him from doing it. It just depends.
I'm glad we're having this conversation, G, because you're gonna get a chance to know me and all that shit. Listen, I'm not so sure that if I shoot you in the head, there's some of the people. I'm not so sure that if I shoot you in the head and I do my time and I get out, then shoot zombie and gas. I'm not so sure that you. And if I do my time, I'm not so sure that you can.
Joko, you're talking about shooting a zombie.
Lock me up for good, but my right is my right. Once I do my time, I'm not sure. I know I got a buddy, Raz.
Good point.
I wish I had his info. I see him so much in chat, I never got it. But
Joko, if a zombie comes at you, man, you're running the other way, man.
If you came at me, or a zombie. You said a zombie, motherfucker. I'm on if we're going zombie apocalypse, I'm leaving 2A. I want a fucking a katana or some crazy shit. We gotta go there.
No, man, I joined zombie.
And I need one fat friend, guys. So me and you can get away, G and you, and we can trip the fat guy and we can get away.
I'll just wave my magic wand.
No, right? Let me see. Did you make that, guys?
Yeah, I made I had a little fun making a wand.
Yes, that's pretty nice.
Lepidolite and amethyst.
Yes. I bet you they'll fucking. I don't want to change the subject, but I bet you. I know some people go crazy over that shit because it's accurate too. It looks
I don't believe in it.
I don't know what it is, but it looks cool.
It's every part of one.
For anyone who's a wand.
That's Narnia.
Narnia.
The topic bleeds into the conversation of security versus freedom, because having a security system overlord catches people who are doing the most heinous crimes. Having fingerprint on file, teeth on file, skull structure, your x-rays and stuff on file helps people find your murderer or find out who you are if you're murdered. So it really is a catch-all in that we want freedom, but we also want to be able to have justice for the worst crimes. So,
but check this out, guys. Isn't this true that because of the system is what it is, or maybe it's man's fucking personality, a man's destiny or something.
Right.
When you give them that ability to do that for the most heinous crime, I consider that, except I know how the government works, and they'll use those same tools to stop G when he runs the fucking light or stop sign in fucking Kentucky. They'll send him a bill to his fucking house where he is. That's what this would go. They would use it to harm minorities more.
Yeah, when seconds count, cops are minutes away.
Right.
Minutes
Well,
away.
Gotta protect
Respect,
yourself.
baby.
that's one of the
Slowly,
reasons
baby.
I very much believe strongly in not. I don't honk my horn on the road because you don't know who's freaking crazy. So I think part of that conversation of gun control is. I still think that an armed society is a polite society. Is that if you think?
I agree. Check this out.
If you're,
that was great to honk the horn
for screwing up somebody's day, then you won't.
And that here where I'm at, I'm in Seattle, Washington, and I guess all these protesters chased the Seattle police out of their precinct up in the upper Capitol Hill area of Seattle.
Right.
Coronavirus, Joe.
Is that I've been sleeping? I know, right? And I've been out of town. I just got back.
Achoo.
Gay corona, zombie gay corona. We got to make a problem.
And the first thing they did was open up, put up borders and make sure specific people couldn't get in. And
yes, and from specific states. I want to say this before I forget. When you said you don't even honk your horn, around here was a thing on certain blocks. If someone's double parked talking to someone, you honk your horn, everybody in the streets would just rush in there and bombard you, just beat you. That was a thing. I used to have to tell my neighbors when you come around here, if someone's in front of you, flash your lights. Do not honk that fucking horn. You tap your lights once and you be patient, because people here are so trained. For the police are so afraid of them. You know how we were before you got your wisdom and your sight, your third eye, that they think they're gods, and merely flashing that light would trigger them for 1 second to think, oh, fuck, cop. And you have a really good chance that they just see them lights flashing, and their hearts drop and they'll move. But that horn shit is going to get you beat. One dude, you know how they do spray water in the summertime? Somebody threw some water on some dude. He got out, started yelling. They just rushed him. That type of shit around.
How about if someone's blocking the road? If I just get out and fire my gun up in the air, will that make a move?
If you had the ability to own one, zombie, and first of all, wouldn't make a move, get you killed around here. But you've had the ability to
probably.
Motherfuckers would be more polite. I think that Gas just said that. They'd be more polite. I'm sorry, sir. They ain't got to know you. I'm sorry. Let me get out of your way. I'm too. Get out of your way, officer. Is he roboting or is that me?
He's roboting.
I think I'm having data issues.
You're good now.
Am I?
Yeah.
You're good.
Am I
roboting? No, you're good, baby. You're good now.
And I'm on Wi-Fi because my phone data is not working.
I'm on Wi-Fi, but this is my apartment, which I don't want to get too personal. But I don't know if y'all know, but my old man had I've been taking care of my old man and my brother, so I was staying at my mom's crib. So I'm only over here once a month, usually to fucking pay the rent. And that's the only time I come over here. But since I was gone and I've been so tired, I've been on 5 flights in 2 days. I came over here and I fell asleep and just woke up, just to I wouldn't be interrupted.
I thought you were out of town, completely out of state there, Joe.
I just got back last night. I'm at home now. Yeah.
Okay, because I had heard that you were out auditing with in another state.
Yes, I was wondering if you heard some of the shit I did out there.
I thought AFA said something.
No. I audited with him in Chicago. Here in Chicago.
But I said I think he was the one who said that you were out of state.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I've talked to him today. Yeah, and I know this would change the subject, but I hope if y'all know accountability for all, I think he's doing better. I'm not trying to starting to endorse anything. I know that cat's hot and controversial, but I met him personally. We know each other, and he came back to Chicago a couple times. And last time we hit a couple bars, my man house and got drunk. We did cop watch with Chuck Bronson and Denise Lynn. We had a long time to talk, and I'm not the same type of dude where I got to get on you if you're doing wrong. I'm not gonna let shit slide and that type of shit. So we had a good chance to talk, and I told him, no, and a lot of people don't want to hear this because they think they're perfect, and Josh may have a bit of narcissism in him. I'm like, listen, I think you're doing better. I think you're making the moral decision now. I think all these motherfuckers giving you heat, and if y'all know who he is, he's just got in jail recently. He's been in there for months at least, and he's been getting a lot of heat for the shit he did and all that type of shit. I think you're trying to make better moral decisions, man. And if you guys know him, if you notice that, I was wondering if you guys agree, or if you don't know him, pay attention. I think he's doing better.
So I do agree. Like, there's some auditors that I just don't watch because I don't agree with them. But again, like that won't stop me from discussing with them. You know what I mean?
Very good. He's one of them too, G-Tag, by the way. I normally do not watch him, but lately, I say these last few weeks, when we did that heavy hitter panel, as Jeff called it, he's been trying to make some changes, man. I don't know. I hope for the best for that guy.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like Patrick. I think Patrick's started getting a little bit better. He's been spending more time with Justin Pulliam and News Now Houston, who also has a little bit of a little issues with some people. But I think they're.
He's another guy I can't watch.
I think Patrick, since he's become a dad, I think he's kind of straightened up a lot.
I love that. It makes me, I'm not gonna be the guy to be like, but remember he kicked that homeless cat. No, when the man is trying to make advancements and do better, I want to support.
And there was, it's been told that the homeless people had attacked Patrick and them first. And this was that was a retaliation thing.
No, it's not like he only done it once. First of all, and
I've only seen the one homeless event.
So I've seen the homeless event and I've documented it on this channel. And I said I don't respect it. Right, I don't respect it. I don't at all. Because again, if you watch my channel before, you know that I go into the homeless communities all the time.
I've seen, I've seen you got the sweat and the threat of the homeless want to fuck you up, and you're helping them. I've seen you.
Right.
Yeah.
So
he's even admitted it later on that he was out of
but
sorry.
But that will not stop me from talking, to Patrick. If he wants to come in here and talk. I bet, man, whatever. Shit. And I straight up say that video I saw, I disagree with 100%.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna dawn it over your head every time I see you.
Yes, right. I don't understand why people do that. Right?
Was, fuck with those homeless.
And people make mistakes. You shouldn't hold a mistake over somebody's head for their entire life.
Yes, who can live up to that, right?
That's the problem with people coming out of prison. People always hold that over their head once they get out. They don't try to let them move on, and prove otherwise. Prove that they've changed, and that kind of stuff.
And even trying to change, Zombie. They don't have to be in that.
Exactly. But that's what I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to explain. And that they don't give them the opportunity.
Yes.
Yes, you had something to say?
Were you trying to say something?
Oh, I was saying that Patrick is funny enough that it was him getting arrested at some police station in the middle of the night somewhere for some stupid reason. Was like this final straw for me to go. I went from work that day and did my first audit at the local, Plano Police Department.
Holy fuck!
And I also,
fuck that! Don't gloss over that, man. I didn't know you even did audits, man. I don't watch fucking hours of you doing what you're doing right now. I didn't know you did an audit. I should stab you.
I think I've got like I'm sure I've got like 30 actual audits, and some of the rest of them are just me walking around talking.
I'm an idiot. I had no fucking idea.
And Gas, is that your YouTube channel name, or is that just the name you're using for the stream?
No, that's his channel.
No, that's my channel name.
I think it might be Honest Gas Made.
Handmade, yeah.
Honest Gas Handmade, and type in channel. I'm sure you're not gonna find another cat with that fucking.
Yeah, there's not a lot of Honest Gas out there. It's great.
And I'm sure if I just type Honest Gas, I'm sure I'm gonna find it.
Right.
Especially if I look for videos that are doing what he's doing right now.
Yeah.
That's a state channel, State Honest Gas channel. Whenever you're looking for someone's channel, type channel in there, and it'll limit your search much better.
So
we should say, you have to be a certain. So I'm an idiot. I'm okay with watching him make that damn thing right there. And he made a whole suit one time. I don't want you to get out and show it, but he made a whole fucking outfit with arm guards and gauntlets and all of that shit one time. You have to be.
He's gonna go get it.
I will watch niggas LARPing in the woods. I watch, I'll watch shit like that. I'll watch somebody find a baby chick. I can watch that for 30 minutes. So, you better, don't get there expecting to stab a cop or curse out somebody when you go to this channel.
Yeah, so I think
right, we got
Deldo asked a question about the unpopular topic. What do you guys think about that situation?
I'm sorry, Cheetah.
Yeah, we gotta get back to the topic.
You said the Chaz situation. I guess somewhere in Seattle. I haven't looked up any news.
Yep, that's at the station that they vacated here in Seattle, up on the Seattle Capitol Hill. 11th and East Pine Street.
Which is the Chaz incident? So much shit's been going on lately. Which one is the Chaz?
Chaz says for Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone.
And what happened?
The protest people ended up forcing the Seattle Police Department out of their station.
Okay,
the police say that they vacated the station to protect the businesses that are in the building and the residents that are above the station. Who knows what the real reason is?
Oh, come on. You don't evacuate a police station ever. That's never happened in the history of your life. It could be closed for the holidays, but no one's ever evacuated a fucking jail.
And there was no, supposedly someone threatened to firebomb the station. And that was the reason the police. That's the reason the police, and that the police had vacated the station supposedly.
What about the one they evacuated in Minnesota? They kicked this off. I don't know if you guys familiar with Unicorn Riot. You probably are. But him and his guys went there, and he was live the whole time. And the police were on the roof with fucking guns and shit, sniper rifles and all that. And it just provoked the citizens. It was only like a 2-story building, so there's like they're looking down in their eyes with guns, and the people got madder and madder. And the first chance police got when that crowd grew, they grabbed their guns and everything, they packed up and they got out of there. And when the people saw it was vacated, they went in there, they busted down, they come out with the riot gear, and all that. They stole the police equipment that they couldn't take, and then they set it on fire. All this was live on the internet. That nigga had like 60,000 niggas in there. He had tons of cats in there. And then when the fire alarm went off and the sprinklers came on, put the fire out, they went back in there. It took like 2-3 times because the sprinkler system kept putting it out. They were intent on burning that motherfucker to the ground, and they succeeded.
I think all police stations should be in their own building and not have residents and the businesses around them.
Yeah,
because people should not be destroying. People should not be straight.
I think I misunderstood you. Now, if they evacuated to protect someone in the same building, I'd have to reconsider what I just said.
Yeah, possibly, and that's what the cops said that the reason they is, but who knows for sure?
Yes, but I mean, if
cops don't care about the people.
I would agree. It sounds ludicrous, but if there's an apartment full of children over the police station, which I can't imagine,
which
then they evacuate some. I think we got to reconsider. No, you're cops. You better stay and protect it. I don't know, but that's
I don't know,
different.
and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't know the truth, and
the best indicator of what really happened would be things that have happened in the past, and I've never seen it happen before in the past, unless the police were running away from an angry mob. That's probably what occurred this time.
you know how John Lennon.
And if they don't have guns,
Hold
then they're a
on,
bunch of pussies.
John Lennon. I wanted to hear that.
You know how John Lennon sparked the Russian Revolution? They took over a gun factory. They took over.
Lennon
thing.
Wait, you talking about from the Russian?
Yeah, from Russia. Yeah.
All right, I thought you I said I ain't heard nobody fucking reference John Lennon. I thought you talking about the artist in years. I had to hear what you were about to say. But no, I didn't know that's how Lennon got his start. He took over what?
Well, I'm saying that they're taking over police stations. That's not the right place to take over if they want to take over.
I got you. Now I'm curious about the Lennon reference. You say he got his start. I'm familiar with how Hitler got his start. I'm very familiar. I don't know.
Or not John. Yeah, somebody.
It ain't John Lennon. I know who you're talking about. The Russian
not
guy.
John Lennon. That's
yeah, he's not John Lennon. But what did he do? You said it. He took over something. You said
an arms factory. He took over a.
Oh, that's pimp shit.
He took over a gun making factory. Of course, that was when Russia was at its worst. So, you know, I'm sure it was pretty easy.
Hey, Joe, you want to get together and take over an arms factory?
Sounds like something. Gas. I just got a text, Gas, from somebody saying, "What's with the black circles around? Why does dude have black circles around his ass?" Do you want to explain? Because I'll probably explain it back. That nigga's insane. That nigga's crazy. That's
he's related to a raccoon. Damn it.
Yeah,
he's got raccoon in his blood, man.
If you want to talk about it, if you don't worry about it.
I used to have it come down to here and even cross the bridge, but it was too much. So
nigga, that's too much.
And so I slowly but surely came down to here. I kind of threw it on, so it doesn't really look all that great. But
I dig it because I'm used to it, though. You know, I hadn't even thought about it until she just said it.
It also helps because when I put on my masks, I wear a black scarf thing.
Yes,
so
I understand that.
It makes my eyes also kind of disappear a little more.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, in fact, you should do that when you're wearing a mask. Batman does.
Yeah. Just like Batman.
Just like
Batman. I'm Batman.
Okay.
Let me ask you guys this. I know how restrictive, and G was talking about this shit earlier, Chicago and Illinois is, especially Chicago. Okay. I want to ask you guys' opinion about, I want to ask what you guys' gun laws are. You know, independently, you know how ours is. In fact, most people around here, it's so ingrained in us that you're not allowed to carry a gun if you're from the city, that if you see a black kid running and he gets shot in the back, everybody's like, oh my God. But many people, when you say, oh, he had a gun in his waistband, oh, it's okay to shoot him. Yeah, you should have shot him. You know, because merely a cat like me having a gun is so stigmatized. That's what it is like here. What is it where you are, G? I've seen, I don't know where you are, but I've seen the neighborhoods when you walk around. I assume wherever you are, you can have, you're in Texas. Okay. Yeah. You can have, I just left Texas, Joe, yesterday. So Texas.
And I don't even know who our host is, by the way.
This is GTAGUPOS.
Yes, we all call him G or G Tag, and he doesn't have a huge fan following, but it is loyal. I can't believe his name comes up in conversation when I'm talking. I be feeling like I'm the only guy who knows this cat. But you know,
I only came into this because Noli. I only came in here because Noli D had put out a post.
I'm sure Noli's told me how much he loved this nigga, but a lot of people, you know, he's come up a lot. It's crazy because G is really cool. I can tell you about the 360 camera shit he did. I can tell you how cool he is under pressure. I can tell you about him feeding the homeless and putting in fucking miles in really bad heat where he's sweating like a son bitch, handing somebody water in some homeless camp, and they're like, "What you doing here?" Acting crazy or schizophrenic and shit. And I've seen him put in work. Bro.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And
at what part of Texas?
I live right now in Fort Worth, Texas.
He should be with Carolina. Go out there with her.
I've spoken with James. I've done a few artists with James, and
Okay.
Just going around. But Carolina and Texas, I told anybody ever wants to come out and hang out with me. I do my audits different. Gas is going on audits with me. You see how
I didn't know that. Gas, you're surprising me.
Right, so he's going on audits with me. He sees the way I do it is not to go to a police station directly. Just I'm gonna film you. I'm just waiting in here. I see you. Yeah, I see you looking at me, nigga. Whatever. But no, I go out. I enjoy my day. I take photos of natural things that I see in the public. Right.
G, I just saw you recently. You had got somebody, a police that pissed you off, and you got so mad an accident came out. I remember Jack cracking jokes. I was like, he said, they done pissed him off so bad his accident's coming out. I didn't even know you had an accident until that day, man.
But I'm originally from New York, and I'm originally from New York, and I get pissed off. I know I get pissed off, but sometimes I need to calm myself down. So I told the guy, let me count 10 seconds. Let me count my fucking 10 seconds.
He did. He literally had to calm down. He was so hot, and this was G.
So, but I try to learn different languages, like Spanish. I try to learn, Afrikaans. I walk around and enjoy my day. I listen to music in my head, and that day, the word I was learning was God seeing you, right? God seeing you, which sounds like God see in you, right? And I do that to make sure anybody who approaches me, I don't want to talk to you because I already know how the thing goes. If you watch my live streams, I try to explain it to people what I'm doing. Problem. I tried avoiding people. Problem. I tried speaking a different language to people so they avoid me. Problem. What do I got to do for y'all to leave me the fuck alone? I don't know.
I don't know if that's possible. Big Nick told me early on, listen, Joe, but you don't have to even approach the cop and say a word to him. He'll come to you. And I disputed him. I hadn't been fucking audited in a week, and I got the nerve to dispute Big Nick, right? I'm pretty arrogant.
Yeah.
But he was right. Now I'll go there, and if I don't see them breaking the law, by breaking some citizens' right, I'll stand off and watch. And they can't help themselves, like Gia said. They look at you once, twice, that third time they're looking at you. They're either gonna come over, they're gonna say something stupid like, "You got a problem? Can I help you? Keep it moving." They can't help themselves.
Yeah.
And when they come and ask you, "Can I help you?" Ask them for a Coke, or Sprite or something. Or ask her to buy you a hamburger.
Listen, check my Virginia vids, but this is in a few of them. When they ask me, I'll be like, "Is your number still 911?" It is. I'll be like, "Okay, well then I know how to get in touch with you if I need help." Motherfucker.
Hey Joe, and have you? What do you think of the cat, the Resistance?
I love the Resistance. I love him. I'm rooting for that nigga. Oh,
and he came to Seattle. He came to Seattle, and I didn't know until after he was already gone, pretty much gone.
I'm gonna put Seattle on my list. This time a joke. Yeah.
Yep, you better. If you don't, I'm gonna hunt you down. I'm gonna come and cut you off below the belt.
No, you gotta come and audit with me, motherfucker. I can't. Chicago, nigga, if I can't make it.
And that I don't think I'll ever get to Chicago. I can't afford it.
You'd be surprised. Especially right now, flights are a lot cheaper. The same flight I was gonna pay $600 and some for when the Corona hit, shit was only $66. If I start getting super chats and PayPals and that, maybe, but I can't even
break like 830 right now. I was at 845, then I dropped to 825, and now I can't get above it.
I'm not so sure subs got anything to do with that shit. Zombie, you put out a good product, the people will come. I woke up with either 1,500 or 25 from 1 or 0 or something. I think it's your content. I think it's what you put out. I don't think about subs.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know how many
don't.
subs G got. I don't know how many subs none of you cats got. I don't watch subs.
Yeah, I don't care for subs much. Like, and
Yeah.
when I say I don't care for subs, I care for everybody who comes in, watches, listens, and does their thing. I don't care to become popular for auditing. I don't really care.
Yes. Yes. Right. It's the work,
It's
right?
like, well, oh, you went out there, you stuck up for yourself. Good job.
I don't care if I get anywhere above 1,000, but I want to get to that 1,000 point so I can do some live. That's all I really care about.
Hey G, let me clarify something. The other day, one of my friends heard me and you talking, and you was like, "Joe, me and Joe are the same. We're not monetized." I am, but I've never even touched my account. I'm sure there's money in there, but I've never even looked and checked. This is why I say I've never received a penny. But I'm monetized under AdSense and all that. And if I was diligent, I could go get that money. When I signed it up and all that shit, it was $450 in there months ago. I'm sure there's plenty of money to go. I've never withdrawn a cent. That is not my objective. That's not why I do this. And that's why I say I never got money from YouTube.
But PayPal and them aren't allowing you to access it, right?
No,
because you don't have an account.
PayPal analysis is something totally different. I've accessed my PayPal. That's only usually a couple $100 or something at the most. The AdSense, I gotta have at least a stack or stacks in there. I'll monetize around the holidays or something, but I've never gotten a dime out of there.
Yeah, but they're not. The AdSense is not allowing you to access it because you don't have a bank account or whatever.
Yes, I would say that, but my man got me a cash card, and there's some way to tie it to it. My point is, that's not why the fuck I'm doing. I should probably be smart and get the money and travel more and all that, but it doesn't cross my fucking mind unless something comes up. Really, I spend money doing this. I'll spend money tonight. This orderly texted me a little while ago. I'll probably go out tonight, and it'll cost me bread and that kind of shit. This is so not for the clicks and views or money. When I put my titles out, most of my titles are shit like Echoes, Mirrors, The Bad Guy. If I was chasing subs and views, then I'd be saying shit like Tyrant Alert, Must Watch, those things, man. I don't even watch my friends' videos when they put those fucking titles up. It's about the work, in my opinion.
Yeah, because go ahead, guys. Go ahead.
I'm saying I got into it angry, but as soon as I did my first audit, I changed my tune very quickly. I wanted to. I certainly saw that I was looking for a fight in my first video, and then after that first video, I was like, you know what? I don't want to look for a fight. I want to look for answers. I want to talk. I want to. I want to the police.
Very good.
So here's a perfect example with me and Gas, right? We were doing a live stream. I was doing a live stream all day. and again, I'm not looking for trouble, but I want to make sure things were being documented. There was a guy who was being put in the back of an ambulance. So we were like, all right, I don't want to get the guy. Let's make sure we don't film the dude who's getting
I was going to say, I couldn't have put him on tape, but I filmed the incident. Yeah. I'd have did it the same way.
Yeah. We're going to make sure the cops don't, throw him around or whatever, no extra bumps and bruises.
There you go.
Whatever. This guy at the Greyhound, comes out super mad aggressive, to me, to him, he's just, well, whatever, I'm like,
well, he wants to fight you.
He wants to fight me.
Because
I'm like, dog, but I'm not going to back down. I'm like, if you want to go, we can go. And I'm sitting there, yeah, he's a big dude. I don't know, man. I'll fight him.
Well, I guess.
I'm not gonna back down.
I've got fighting experience.
But
it was weird because the guy was it was like he came from over somewhere else.
Wow, he was motivated.
And he was overstepping his bounds, of course, but in his mind, he was doing the right thing, I guess. I don't know. There's no problem here. Thank you.
The citizens to me are gods. I don't mind backing down. I do it all the time. I never do it with a cop. I never do it in real life. But out there, I need those people. To me, those are the guys we're trying to get on that side. I know some people when they be like, hey man, could you not film here? And I see a person getting hot or a woman getting upset by it. I'd be like, of course, ma'am. I'd be like, of course, ma'am, I'll back up, not a problem. But the police be like, oh, he's filming you, so I'm gonna arrest you. I'll be like, hey, if you're gonna get that person a break, I will step the fuck back. If I have to cut my camera off, I'm that dude. I do those things out there. Yeah. There was a girl. Somebody texted me. Y'all give me a second.
But yeah, like that day, I remember that day. It was pretty funny because the guy, he's bucking up and he's getting all puffed up in the chest. And I'm like, dude, I'm not filming the dude who's hurt. I'm filming the police so they don't throw him around. I'm filming the police so they don't bump and bruise him up anymore. I'm not here to film that dude. I know he's in a bad situation. I don't want to broadcast his situation. I make sure he's not on my camera. I make sure he's not on.
Right.
Why you bothering me?
And to be fair,
that changes shit too. I'll give you a good example. I was out with in my hood, in a very rough section of my hood, which has got to be equivalent of Beirut or something in someone's eyes, and 2 white boys are with me, and we go over there and someone's getting arrested, and the police does we're gonna arrest him if you guys, because you guys are filming. And my guys immediately, at least one of them was, well, it's my constitutional right. His girlfriend, who was like, please leave, she's begging. Well, it's my constitutional right to film. And I was like, man, listen, I'll leave, blah, blah. And I told my guys, you're your own men. It's your decision. And they were like, look, Joe, it's your hood. And it was a little blow up. It's your hood. We'll listen to you. And then we did a bunch of artists that night, of cop watches. And the very next one, I took the lead. I went in there, 2 guys were in cuffs. I was filming the police. And as soon as they looked at me, I was like, hey, my man, I'm going to try to keep you off camera, but I'm going to stay here and film the police and make sure you're okay. 2 of these niggas are cuffed at the back of the car. And they were like, my man, thank you. And the next one I went to, immediately people were like, please don't film. I'm like, listen, ma'am, I'm film the cops. I'm going to do my best to keep you off. She spun around. Well, thank you for that. It's about your fucking approach. I'm not going to say, fuck you, ma'am, it's my right in this neighborhood unless you're ready to fight, because 8 niggas going to come off their porch and fuck you up anyway. Shit.
Real. Yeah. Talk about guns.
Yeah. Well, we ended up, after the cops left and everybody left, the guy was, still ready to fight. I said, we already done here.
Wow.
I mean, see, the cops already left. He was still, he was still amped up. I was like, what, whatever, dude, whatever, man.
Is this on video? This seems interesting as fuck,
it's
man.
A live stream. It's my live streams. I tell you, 90% of the people who subscribe to me do not watch my live streams. They only watch the bad interactions, right? They don't see me out there doing what I normally do on a day-to-day basis. So they make they make that assumption that I'm there to just cause a problem, right? But 99% of those people don't even know me, right?
Yes.
You join my live streams. You see how
that's how I know you. Your video games, your hunting game, so I get to know you.
Yeah, I'm chilling all the time. I'm
all right, in my opinion, yes.
But in those situations where you see, oh, this video got 800,000 views, and it's something that me getting pushed to a point, to where I have to defend myself and stand up for myself. And they say, oh, well, he was out there causing the problem, right?
Yes.
So
that's what I find is a little bit bewildering a lot of times. People, when people edit their videos, they go, well, you just did it to twist to your narrative, and so I try to keep mine being raw.
Yeah,
and then first off, and then once I start learning I just learned how to start cutting sections out of video and like separating different stories sections out of it. And that because there was a section in one video where 3 fucking cop cars tried to run me over, and I'm standing on the fucking sidewalk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the reason why I stopped even trying to justify my actions. Like, you're either gonna believe me or not, right?
Agreed.
And I know for a fact the people who watch my streams, they'll believe me. They know I'm honest. If you come to me and ask me what I'm doing, and like I said, I don't want to talk to people anymore because they're not going to believe me. Was the guy who pulled the gun, the guy who brandished the gun, right? He said, "What are you even doing out here?" I said, I said to myself in my head, I said, "I know he's not going to believe me if I tell him." And I told him, I said, "I'm out here taking pictures of houses for sale and trees and birds." He said, "Oh, bullshit." I said, "I knew it. I knew it."
But see, I think you still have to do the work, right? The work is education. We can and get I forget the fucking word that I'm looking for, but we can get I want to leave this word alone, else I'm losing my thought. I lost my thought trying to fucking figure this fucking word.
Don't think about it right now,
I don't want to
Joe.
be a cynic. The word I was
don't think about it right now. It'll come back to you if you stop. If you stop right now, you'll think about it in a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
otherwise it wasn't that important. Either that or it wasn't that important.
I forgot. Listen, I don't want to be that guy because I need to offer my advice. This is where I'm out here. I can be cynical and become cynical and say, you'll never grasp it like I do. You particularly may never understand, but I can't determine when that person's moment is. And if someone's not out there in front of his face to give him that opportunity to teach the lesson, then that opportunity may be lost. And there are few people who even know what we know about what's legal and what's not. And the police are truly not gods. I thought they were when I started this. So we are so needed. I try to be patient as fuck, G, and I wish you would be as well when it comes to that shit.
Yeah, I know. I need to work more on my patience. And I know that. I know I do. And I accept all criticism. Insults, I'm like, all right, well, you're just trying to insult me, whatever. Right. I'll blow that off, whatever. But criticism, give it. Tactical instigator.
My man, Zombie and Gas, you guys didn't tell me where you live and your rights, your 2A rights there.
Oh,
and
Gas.
Go ahead, Gas.
Sorry. Oh, mine's the same as G Tags. I live in Dallas.
Ah, right. You guys been together. Okay, Zombie. You're in Seattle.
And I'm free on it, and I carry on occasion.
Do you guys need permits to carry, conceal, permit to buy? What is going on?
Washington State is you have to conceal carry. You do have to have a permit, but we are also open carry without permit.
Open carry without permit. Very good.
But in Seattle, be ready for any blowback.
Meaning, if it's legal, why would you get blowback? From the people or from the cops?
Both. And because there aren't a lot of people that actually open carry in the city of Seattle.
Well said.
They freak out.
Yeah,
and they'll call the cops.
And then the cops will come. And if there's anything like some of the other videos I've seen where it's legal, and by the way, I don't believe you should ask permission to have a right. And to me, asking for a permit or concealed carry license is asking permission from my dad.
Unfortunately, you're right. And
yes,
but if you want to carry, you got to bow down to the king.
I disagree. Bow down these nuts. I disagree. I may be wrong with that shit, but the more people bow down, the more motherfuckers are.
But if you don't, then they're just going to arrest you for not having it.
But that's the objective, right? That's what we do. If you don't obey master, he'll spank you. If you don't obey the cops, he'll hurt you. That's not an incentive. That's not an argument. If you're going to do this job, understand you're going to get arrested. You're going to get harassed, targeted. When I first started this, I remember one lady cop panicked. You think I don't know where you live? Where your car's registered? You live here, and your car's registered area. They are so fucking fearful of us.
So in Texas, we have a license to carry. So if you want to carry your pistol, you have to have a license to carry. If you want to carry it concealed or even hidden, or out in the open. But you don't have to have a license for your shotguns or ARs. Pretty much.
Yeah, I understand. Thank you.
So that's how we have it here in Texas.
I wish every state
I wish every state had some of the like the signage that Texas has. The was it the 30.06 and
What do you
signs
guys
and
say?
stuff? Yeah, yeah, or the or even they should have the 3802 regulations too, where you don't need
Oh
the
yeah.
ID unless you're actually under arrest.
Oh yeah. Even
And
then,
that but I also think that that every state should have be held under Turner v. Driver, have the Bain Act, like California. I mean, everything. I think anything that protects the people should and stuff like that should be held across the country.
yeah. And I see DJ saying Texas is an open carry state, but recently they made laws to change because gun laws change every year. Gun laws change every year. So I think in
Oh man.
2018, they require you have a license to open carry your pistol.
Your guys' governor is a fucking pussy ass rhino, and and Abbott is a fucking dick. And my governor is also, and he's actually a Democrat. So that gives.
I
We
mean,
got Chris here, goofy ass. While everybody else across the country, this is right after California came out with this study when their the disease, the COVID, was as opposed to killing 1 in 10 people was 0.03% deadly. The WHO, the CDC, all came out with their new figures. This is after that, and everybody decided to open up. Our governor decides, listen, we're gonna go another 30 days, and the people rebelled, and another legislator came out and filed an injunction to take that shit to court and all of that shit. So he couldn't institute another 30 days on us. And then the mayor came out and said crazy shit. We got a crazy fucking mayor.
Oh yeah, she's crazy, and you can't get a haircut, but it's okay for her to get a fucking haircut.
It's
And
okay
her
for her
hair
to
done.
get one though, but she started locking people up at parks. What she was telling you can't go to a park, you can't go to the lakefront. They actually put up barricades and everywhere and all of that shit. And the people were rebelling. They would still deciding when they were going to go do some things. They were pretty much quarantining ourselves and being respectful, in my opinion. But she had to come out and be like, "No, you are not allowed out. You get one cop tells you to move once. It's a $500 fine. If he tells you twice, and now it's like $1,500. If he tells you twice, you go to jail." And it just made us worse and worse. The more she bared down, the more niggas went into the street. It became a vicious circle.
And I just watched the video just before this. I came into the stream where she's talking with other council members and stuff like that, and she gets called out about the way she's handling things, and she just starts saying, "You're a effing," that kind of stuff.
I
mean,
missed that. I
whoa.
was asleep. When I went to sleep, in fact, I turned from her
Well,
because
this wasn't a live. This wasn't a live stream. It was just somebody else's.
I
Somebody had
got you.
somebody had posted it.
It could have been the shit I turned from earlier before I fell asleep, where she was talking shit about the corona and how you need to do your part and you're saving lives. You like watching Netflix. Really, I saved 3. I fell asleep. I just saved lives, guys. I deserve a round of applause. I fell asleep over here. And how
And then I actually stayed home today just because my back was really hurting from everything
you're
the last couple of days.
Hero, zombie. You're a fucking fireman. You just saved lives. Ching. Fuck out of here. It's like with the flu going around. I didn't go outside today, and so the fucking mayor is gonna go on TV and say Joe Cool saved lives today. He didn't pass the flu. Get the fuck out of here. All the fucking new numbers say this thing is less deadly than the flu. So whenever that turns me off when I hear people saying that, and the kids and people who watch fucking CNN and Fox believe in these numbers when they're attributing car accidents to COVID. Wait a minute, his brother had COVID and he died in a car accident. So by law, you have to attribute that death to COVID.
Exactly. Exactly.
Anybody who had trouble breathing, heart
Minnesota
problems.
senator said that. Minnesota senator said that. Who's also
That's
a
under
medical doctor.
CDC guidelines. The hospitals say that you've never done this for another disease ever. Why would we do this for COVID?
And that we have never in the history ever made healthy people wear a mask
Right.
to protect,
Bullshit.
supposedly protect him.
So
Maybe not
And a
general,
mask ain't protecting
let's be
anybody
clear, if a
anyways.
motherfucker has hepatitis or something, they wear masks so they don't sneeze on people. So let's say it's never. Let's not say it's never happened.
But the healthy people never wear a mask.
Well, it's
Very
also
good.
a way
Understand
of
that, yes.
virtue
It's,
signaling.
it should be your choice.
It identifies people who are not wearing masks, just like with the blackface on Facebook, where everyone put that black square over their face picture. You know, so anybody who didn't do that was marked as not supporting them. So it's a way of identifying who's what and stuff like that. So if you're
Oh, that was dope, guys. It's a way
And
of
it-
identifying the compliant. Very good. Those who believe in
And
our
it-
philosophy. Very good.
well, it's
But here's something that gets me though, and there are some of us, and that myself included, that have medical conditions that don't allow us to wear a mask, and we
Yes.
get chastised for it.
Yes.
And that
Everything you go
I've
through that-
I've had the cops called on me for trespassing because I wouldn't leave because I wasn't wearing a mask.
I know, zombie.
You've seen my bus riding videos where the drivers have gave me a hard time. One driver acted like a complete ass. One totally blatantly refused to give me a ride and took off and wouldn't let me ride at all.
dang.
My first bus driver video, I just now got the buses video cameras stuff sent to me from the local transit agency. But the second one the bus did not have onboard cameras supposedly. So my video camera is the only proof that this driver was a total douchebag by refusing me. And I probably could sue him and the county for ADA violation.
We're the worst in Chicago. We're the worst with giving out FOIAs, which you're supposed to get. We're the worst with police complaints. In fact, we hid almost 500,000 over the last 48 years. And some guy won in court and said, you have to disclose those. That was given a court order. They decided we're not going to do it. And they said they're going to burn and destroy them before it goes back to court on a appellate level or something. They're going to burn and destroy all those police misconduct reports. That's going to be a hell of a
Oh boy, that'll bring the federal lawsuits.
yes, that'll also fucking light up half of fucking central Illinois. That will be a big fucking fire because that's a lot of complaints.
Isn't Chicago based on a big fire back 100 years ago?
It is Chicago fire. Okay.
Yeah, wasn't that Mrs. whatever her name is cow?
O'Leary's cow is the myth. We're not so sure it's a true story.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Abraham Lincoln. I'll chop and not tell a lie, or George Washington chopping a cherry tree. Whoever did that bullshit, it never happened. Newton sitting under the apple tree and an apple fell on his head. Oh my God, gravity! No, that never happened either. You know?
Yeah, and I mean, Seattle is built on the old city, and then there's an underground tour.
I've seen that shit, yo. That's pretty cool. I remember they used.
And is there any of that there in Chicago? Can you go down underneath the city and see some of the older stuff?
No, there's nothing like that anywhere in Chicago that I know. In fact, under our shit is immediately under our shit are cobblestone roads. Most of the streets we have now, when they wear out really bad, I should say most, many of them show cobblestone and directly under that are really poor sewer system. I haven't seen anything like I see in
So there's
Seattle,
no so there's
where
no
they
under
actually
there's no
use the.
underground. So when you come here, and that we'll have to
Well,
try to get you to go on the underground Seattle tour.
All right, and listen, just be clear. I wasn't saying there aren't any, but there, in most places there can't be any because of the way the substructure is made, and I don't know of any. That's what I was trying to say.
well, they're mostly
So
undermarked.
like,
I'm sure there are some areas, but like,
Yes, there'd have to be somewhere, somewhere, but not like what he's talking about. I've seen that they used to literally use those. They use them for criminal activities.
right.
They used to call them Shanghai tunnels because transients they would take them in them tunnels and let them get drunk and shit. And the next day they would sell them. They'd walk them through the tunnel system and sell the people. So and off into some bullshit. So yeah, those tunnels were used for nefarious purposes mostly in the later days.
so back to the gun topic. I was going to go
Yeah,
ahead and ask you about the you know, playing by the rules of, you know, the law. You know, how I see it. Like whenever you're purchasing a gun, and you have to register for it and all that. Basically, you have to abide by, you know, the governor's rules. You know, the government's rules. Basically, you have to say, all right, I'm gonna fill this out and do a background check. And if I don't do it, then I'm not playing by your rules. And you're gonna send people with guns, you know, who aren't, you know, who make up the rules, kind of like a schoolyard kid in the playground who's trying to play wrestling with his friends. So like, oh, you're supposed to go down there. I'm gonna tell the principal if you don't, you know, if you don't go down right now because you're supposed to go down whenever I did my little rock bottom move on you. You know, and I feel like that's how it is with the gun laws around the whole area. People in each different state are making up their own rules, and they go to their principal saying, "Hey, you know, all the kids are going to do this wrestling event, and whenever I go like this to them, they're all supposed to go down, right? And if they don't go down, then I'm going to tell the principal they're not playing by the rules, and you're going to get in big trouble." Ooh, you know, I think that's how it is. Like, that's how
And G,
it
depending on what school and what the principal, which sucks from
Right.
federal to state or even
Right.
city ordinances, depending
Right.
on the principal's whim, he might add to that and say if they don't go down, I'm going to suspend them. If they
Mm-hmm.
don't go down, I'm going to give them in school. This shit can get pretty
Yeah.
convoluted. Yeah.
and I just had a really interesting thing online. So someone was saying, "Oh, Texas is the most Second Amendment friendly state in the country." No, idiot. Arizona is, followed by Idaho, then Alaska, then I think Kentucky, and I think Oklahoma are the top five.
Texas, in my opinion, would have been the most Second Amendment friendly if we didn't implement the LTCs, the license to
What
carry,
is that?
the
Oh,
license
okay,
to
I got
carry,
you.
because
Right, I've heard some states. Right, you don't even need a fucking license. Like I think G-Tag said it. You don't need a fucking license. Maybe that was you. You don't need a license to carry. You can open carry. Now, matter of fact, Louisiana is one. When I just went down there, my cousin, was driving. He showed me his pistol. I think he had a 40 cal or something. It's pretty big, short barrel though. And I was like, dude, you had a permit? He's like, oh no. And here in Arkansas, you can carry as long as it's in open and blah blah blah. I thought, fuck, you mean I can carry? I'm from Chicago. That shit get you killed. I meant to fucking go live with a pistol and be an asshole. But I was busy. Shit.
yeah,
I Gee, I gotta abandon you and go to my other house, man. It's
no
only 5
problem.
minutes away. I'm not even gonna get out the car. If you're still on, I'm just gonna smoke some weed in the car. So if you're still
No,
on,
you're good. You're
you can
good.
continue. Literally, I'm 5 minutes away from the other house. I'll be
No,
back if you're
you're good.
still
You're
here.
good. If I'm still on, I'm not sure how long I'll keep it going. But if
All
I'm
right,
still on, just come back in. The link will be in there. You know,
my
it's open
man.
to anybody.
All right, all right. See you cats in a minute.
Take it easy, Bickle. It's good seeing you. Union Flag had a really interesting comment.
What's that?
Wow, over 40 minutes ago. Says, speaking from the UK, what do you actually do with these guns? I mean, you have the right to bear arms, and yet that doesn't stop your police from brutalizing you at all. I don't know if it's meant for. Hang on, sorry. I don't know if it's meant for actually protecting us from the police, because obviously there are laws against that sort of thing, and try proving it otherwise. Sorry.
Yeah.
That is actually what the Second Amendment was created for, is to prevent and protect people from a standing army, and the police is what the founding fathers meant as a standing army. They weren't talking about the
Yeah.
United States Army, because the United States Army wasn't even around then.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
mainly for prevention of a tyrannical government.
Well,
And I
Yeah.
mean, like,
but even there shouldn't
self-preservation.
be a reason either. Like they're looking for a reason why we have them. There's no bad reason to having a gun when you're a law-abiding citizen. So,
Sim-
But
simple
nobody's a
answer.
law-abiding citizen to the cops.
The simple
Right.
answer to that question, though, is it's my right to own it.
right,
That's
right.
the simple answer. It's my right to own it. If I wanted to own a tiger and I had the right to own a tiger, and I was like, well, I bought me a tiger, right? I mean, Mike Tyson owned himself a tiger. He owned himself like 2 tigers.
And everybody says, well, and by your standard, the Second Amendment, you should be able to own a tank. Yeah, if I had enough money, I'd buy myself a fucking tank. And the Second Amendment allows me to own a tank.
Arnold Schwarzenegger owns a tank.
And people who buy tanks typically know stuff about them, so it's not like they're just, it's not like they're just, I just decided to buy a tank today, and even if that was the case, you still should be able to buy a tank no matter what the circumstances.
And I should be anything the United States military has, or the police, we should have.
Right.
Yeah.
And then everybody goes, well, then does that mean you should own a nuke?
I can afford it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd go that far. I don't think anybody should have a nuke, personally.
If I can afford it and the military has it.
People who have them, but I actually have to go. That phone call called me away, so I'll see you guys later.
No problem. Hey, guess.
I'll probably go live after.
Guess, is there anything you want to shout out before you head out?
Have a good one, man.
Be safe. Try not to let the little things get to you. Take it easy, guys.
And always remember to film the cops.
And remember to film the cops.
And always one of these helps keep the popo away, I hear. I'm not sure. I think that actually brings them to the. Yeah, I figure brings all the popo to the yards, right?
You're right.
Yeah.
So I guess it's just you and I, unless you're ready to bail. But I'm not. But if you want to go.
If you have any
it's your channel.
Topics, if you have any more topics you want to talk about, I mean, like,
I mean, I could just ramble and everybody listens, and it's just polite. I go, I'm sorry, I'm rambling. You've been so polite.
Yeah, there are. What do you think? Because I mentioned this earlier about attachments on guns. How certain attachments can make your gun illegal. So, say if I have my AR pistol, and here's what I'm building right now. Hold on.
Are you putting a drop-down hand grip on it?
I'm building one right now. This is my second one I'm building here. Okay.
That's the back end of it.
Yep, this is a lower. So, say if I had a foregrip, right, and I had a foregrip on an AR pistol.
That shouldn't mean a thing. That shouldn't mean a thing.
It shouldn't mean a thing, right? Why would you think they would make that illegal in general?
And because people don't know jack shit about firearms. Everyone that tries to make a law concerning firearms has never fired one.
Yeah, I think.
And they've only seen them in pictures and in movies. I don't think they've ever seen one or shot one in person.
I made that excuse to my wife because she has a whole bunch of friends who, was like, oh, I don't think you need that for a gun, or the dreaded AR-15. I was like, look, if I really wanted to do some damage to somebody, an AR-15 is not really going to do much, compared to like a 9 or even a 45. If you really want to do some damage, shit, get a 50 cal, fuck it,
And I've seen that there's an AR-50. I don't know how much
the Beowulf.
Oh yeah, that's right. Beowulf, yeah, that's right. And then there's the Grendel, the sister, which is a 6.5. But if anything, I want to get myself a 7.62 by 5.1, which is a 308 basically.
Yeah, I looked at the Beowulf. I was actually going to get it. I was like, do I need to get this right now? And I was like, I can actually build like.
Do we ever need to get anything? It's just all about want.
Well, it was like, but I can build.
But
Beowulf, or I can build 3 5.56 or 300 blackout or 30-06. You know, I can build like 3 of those compared to like 1 Beowulf. You know.
And are you buying just a complete lower receiver, or are you getting 80%ers?
With the lower receiver, these are just stripped lower. So I guess you say 100%.
So they actually come with the serial number on them.
Yeah, serial number.
And
I just put all the parts separately.
So many people now are getting 80 and finishing on themselves.
I'm not doing it.
And they have no serial number in it, and it's supposedly legal.
Yeah,
it's like building.
It's hard to say because the thing is with those 80%, you have to already own the parts, right, to mill it out.
Nope. You get the billet that's 80% finished,
Mm-hmm.
then you complete the thing, but you have to get what's called a jig,
Mm-hmm.
and that has the pattern of where you drill at, is my understanding. And then you finish the rest of the build. You buy the trigger system and the everything else.
Paul Jackson says the gun laws are easy in the UK. You can't have one. Paul, you need to come down to the US. But no, about the 80%, so you're like, yeah, you do mill them out. You do get the jig that comes with the piece. But you have to already, from what I've been reading up on them, you already have to own the drill bits for them, right?
Nope, you can buy those afterwards, and sometimes they're able to be purchased as part of a kit.
Okay. Yeah, because I gotta look it up. I'll have to educate myself more on it because I don't buy 80% because I'm not gonna mill out anything where supposedly I can.
And if you're not comfortable doing that, then probably not.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I looked at all the stuff that was involved in it. I'm like, no, I'm throwing this out. I don't want it. I was like, just give me a stripped lower and I'll fucking build up on that. I'm not gonna deal with serializing a.
And because of all the gun control and that, I've been kind of considering picking up a crossbow and a bunch of bolts.
Hey, go for it. Those are the only things I don't think they can even regulate that at all. Like crossbows and bow and arrows and stuff, because that's just normal hunting gear. I think because I know a couple people who can't own guns because they're felons, but
I think even a crossbow would prevent a felon, because I heard that because it has a trigger and it supposedly, but it might be varied state to state though too.
I had to look it up because again, I'm not well versed on it. I'm open to the education. If someone knows about it and wants to educate me on it, I'd be happy to hear. So
yeah.
But
might just have to do a lot of Googling and YouTube watching and try to see what you can glean together.
And it is just so much on the news right now. I try and Google one thing, and everything comes up about the protest riots and looting and the AZ locations. I'm like, I can't deal with that right now. It's too much sensory overload.
Are you a Facebook user also?
Yes.
And a lot of the Second Amendment pages on Facebook?
I haven't joined any
stuff like that.
Maybe I shouldn't even say I am on Facebook because I barely get on.
And the Gun Rights Coalition I'm part of. My friend Rick is the director, channel operator or page operator for that,
Okay.
and it's really interesting. And then, of course, any channel that the YouTube still allows you to watch for guns, I still watch. Hitchcock 45,
I do enjoy his videos. You know, he goes in a
and
lot of
it,
detail.
and then I watch the Yankee Marshal,
I haven't seen his yet.
and he's from up here in the Washington, Oregon area.
Okay. Let me
And
see.
Yankee Marshals on YouTube.
I'm seeing. Okay. I'm gonna share a link in the description here about this guy here that I watched a couple of his videos. CRS Firearms. Have you ever heard of that?
I'm not recognizing that one by name, but maybe by video.
I'll share a link.
But I also like to watch Demolition Ranch.
Okay, yeah. I checked him out.
You've seen Demolition Ranch?
Yeah, I checked him out a couple times.
He seems like a real idiot, but he gives you great information.
Yeah, I kind of like. I watch his videos, but only when he doesn't have a donut operator in it. You know, because I understand being biased, but I'm like, you know, when someone's just too, you know, biased, I just can't. I can't stand to like listen to someone disingenuous. You know.
Yeah, Yankee Marshall is kind of a bootlicker, though.
Yeah. Well,
But he sure gives a lot of good gun information. But he seems to black the blue line. It seems like.
Yeah.
He thinks the cops are the best. There's a guy on YouTube. His name is Steve Pender. Real bootlicker.
I heard of that
Yeah,
name.
real bootlicker. And talk to Joe about Steve Pender. Last time I was on a Steve Pender thing, Joe said something, and
What's up,
Pender had him
Joe?
timed out. He had Joe timed out.
Yeah.
And I think Joe said the N word without an R, but still timed him out. I think. But still, come on now.
Yeah, I don't block anybody on my channel. I tell everybody you're allowed to speak whatever.
And I was surprised that you immediately brought me right up into the panel. A lot of people that run panels want to make sure that you're not a troll, and because so many people will have some sort of porn video playing when they brought up, and you have to kill it. I was in one panel, and the host, they thought was good, and the next thing you know, you see the guy wanking his willy.
Yeah, I mean, I can honestly see what's going on the camera right here, right now, before I even bring it up. It's just
and a lot of them have to make sure that they actually have a live video where they get them to do something, stick out their tongue, flip a finger, put their finger up their nose, pull on their ear or something like that.
We won't
and
do
it usually when they tell me to do something, I just give them the finger, and I do something that they don't want me to do, but so that gives them enough to.
I tell a lot of my friends this, and I'll tell you guys this right here, right now. I used to work in IT, and I run programs on my computer that are real easy to use for me. So if anything illegal does happen or something outside the terms of YouTube, I can get that information and send it to whoever it needs to go to. I can just even send them your address if I wanted to. I'm not running anyone's name right now, obviously, but it's very simple. It's very simple to do. And that's why I leave in the description, please don't put any illegal images, because I don't want to have to do that to anybody, especially pull your information and give it to somebody who has,
Of course, the way I came in, I didn't see that information.
It should be in the description. Should be in the description.
Because I came in through a link through that Noli put up, and then I saw the chat, I saw the link, and I just came in. I didn't see the description. I just saw the gun control title, but that was it.
Oh yeah. It should be in the description.
I didn't see any. It probably would have if I came in the regular way.
Oh, how you doing, Hawkwind? But anybody who comes into my chat, I'm not really concerned about it because again, I can prevent you from displaying anything, obviously. But again, if anything illegal is displayed, I can also provide that information to whoever can handle that situation. So
yeah, one YouTuber I can't deal with right now is Justin Emo Howling Wolf.
Okay.
Have you seen him?
I haven't seen him.
Oh man, he's he doesn't really care for any of his subscribers. He's always talking shit about them and to them and cursing and that he plays and that he's really seems to be a real narcissistic sociopath.
Hey,
how are you doing, gentlemen? Doing good, sir. How are you? See.
Yeah, I'm doing great as always. I'm above the dirt. It's another day that ends in Y. So
another Texan, I guess. Hey, I've got my ties to Texas.
Yes, sir.
And my grandmother was from Texas. When I was a baby, my mom had moved to San Antonio, but I've never been there as an adult. I'd love to.
Here we go. I'm gonna give you guys.
Oh, you're missing out, man. We got good stuff here.
I know. I want to go to Amarillo to the Big Texan and have the 72-ounce steak dinner.
I need to see that. I need to see that video online right now. So I'm finishing that 72-ounce steak. Ooh.
It's not just the steak. You got a potato.
Gun laws.
Yes. What's your?
We've been talking gun laws and gun stuff and everything in between too.
What's your opinion, Hawkwind?
Well, I'm a Second Amendment Constitution, so I don't think we need to have licenses to be able to concealed or to be able to carry open. I think we ought to have constitutional carry.
Exactly, I agree.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, how we going, Matt? DJ.
And will you bow down right now just to be able to carry, or do you buck the system and carry no matter what? Or do you not answer questions?
I have a gun in my house. I don't answer questions, but I will say I do have a gun in my house, which they really can't do anything about anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, the licensing doesn't come into play in the house per se. They might try to make it, but it doesn't.
Well, I'm good friends with CJ Grisham, and
CJ's a great guy. Yes,
still pushing to get constitutional carry.
Yeah, I really would appreciate
he's a real good guy.
Carry. I met CJ Grisham at the gun rally. He was awesome. He was a real chill dude. And he's very, he's not disingenuous at all. He's very.
Is that the gun rally in Almost Park?
No. In downtown Dallas. I met him in downtown.
Okay.
Dallas.
Okay. And that because I saw all sorts of videos from the Almost Park rally.
Yeah, because I had someone trying. How you doing, Dusty? Someone trying to tell me that I was trying to fearmonger, because I told him, I said, look, police don't have to protect you, right? And he sounded
They
trying
have
to fearmonger,
the Supreme Court has ruled the police have no duty to protect us.
right? And I said the best way to protect yourself is to be vigilant, be aware of your surroundings, be aware of the people near your surroundings, and in my opinion, to carry a firearm. Me, I am getting my license to carry renewed, only because I want to carry my weapon, and I don't want to have to deal with the legal ramifications just because somebody wants to say otherwise.
So right now you're like most people. You bow down right now to carry just so you can not have to deal with the headaches. Otherwise, right now,
I go with the laws on the book. I go with the laws on the book. I'm a law-abiding citizen. And I haven't broken the law in my entire life. So, as I said, gun control is more people control.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
I
not
agree.
really about the gun. It's about who's allowed to carry that gun. But again, I don't really need to carry a pistol. I can walk around with a shotgun on my back all day if I wanted to. I don't need a license for that.
Do you watch Solo Yanker?
Yeah.
Video.
Solo Yanker and what's his name? Southside Slacker. Southside Slacker, I recognize him because he actually grew up he did an audit in one of my hometowns in Bernie, Texas. When I first saw his video, I was like, man, I know what road he's in. Because I used to go to school down in Bernie, Texas. Yep. I know exactly where he's at. And I knew some of those officers that he was talking to, and some of those people I actually went to school with. I was like, oh, look at this. That guy was an asshole. It's like he does not need a gun in his hand. That officer, he needs to put that gun down. But I recognize a lot of these Texas auditors, in normal places that I've lived before, places that I've been at. Some of the New York auditors, I recognize the places where they've been at, but all the auditors in Texas and that I follow, and at TX Sheepdog 72, News Now Houston, Carolina and Fort Worth, Justin Pulliam, SA Ecstasy Prez. Mm-hmm.
And
I've been debating about just walking around with a shotgun, just strapped to my back or across my chest. Say fuck it,
And have a handgun on your side, have an AR on your chest, and a shotgun over your back.
Yeah, I could just walk around
and have something strapped around your ankle. And have an appendix carry and a couple of kidney carries.
So I'm not sure if the law.
And then when the cops stop you, do you have any other guns besides this? And you just start throwing them all out. And I got one here. I got one here. I got one here. Oh yeah, I also got my knife over here. And they're gonna all just have their mouths hanging out.
Hawkwind, you may know about the Texas laws about carrying your firearms. When I first took my class, I remember them saying that the only way for you to carry your firearms is also like a holster around the chest, on the side or on your waist. They said those ankle holsters that you see are actually illegal. Could you confirm that?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Yeah, I see a lot of people
there are concealed holsters. There are some really nice concealed holsters. There's one that will connect to your belt and hang down inside your pants leg. That has a flap that all you do is you pull up, and as you pull up, it will actually reveal the handgun and make it easier to draw.
Oh yeah,
That's become real popular because some of them are not very comfortable to carry and they're very visible.
So you can't have an ankle holster?
That's one of the reasons.
That's bullshit. I couldn't have one anyways because my feet and legs swell up.
when they got concealed carry passed and open carry passed, you had a contingent of people who were very upset. So they did do their best to put some limitations on what people were able to do, and they got away with it only because
shall not
we
be
wanted to get concealed
infringed.
carry passed.
Yeah. But yeah,
Now
here's
you can get your thing up in Oklahoma. Oklahoma has concealed carry. Yeah, I see that. That's a nice holster. Now that fits around the inside of your back, around your pants, right? Or is
you
that
can either inside
open
or
carry?
outside. Inside or outside. You can conceal or open with this one.
And the gun goes right in between the two pieces of leather there. Yeah.
Yeah. So it folds in. It's a very tough piece. It's supposed to be able to hold any size gun.
Don't pull out a gun on the video. Yeah. Good idea. Yeah.
So we got my phone in there. Holds it in pretty tight. Shake it around,
Yeah. And I saw someone pull out a gun trying to give a demonstration. YouTube shut down the stream.
Yeah, I don't care if they shut down my stream. They can shut down anything they want. What up, Joe Cole? You can shut down anything they want, man. I won't care.
We gotta be real careful about YouTube. You gotta be real careful about YouTube. They're very
is that actually Joe Cool?
Liberal.
That's not Joe Cool.
Oh, fuck you.
That doesn't look like you. Except for the laugh.
Hold on.
Okay, there we go. It didn't look like
You're cool.
I don't think I'm so popular.
And the way you had the mask and the hoodie up and the way the light was hitting you, and that looked like a white guy or a white chick.
Well, that's normally during the daytime. I'm damn near. I'm the lightest motherfucking thing smoking. Hey, growing up in a black neighborhood, you get it. You're black in the white neighborhood. They don't want you. And the blacks give you shit because you're light skinned. So it's twice doubly rough when you're a kid. But as soon as you get old enough to get some pussy, you be like, yeah, light skin ain't so bad, bro.
Oh man. I haven't I talked to one of my buddies.
Well, I think we've seen how
What's that? Sorry, Hawkman, I didn't want to cut you off. What was that?
I was about to say, I think we've seen the ability. Well, I think we've seen the viability of open and concealed carry when the riots and the protests began. The protesting was not the problem. It's when you had people like Antifa mixing into the groups that we started having issues. If you haven't heard yet, there were a lot of them that were going to vandalize the Alamo during the San Antonio and you had a bunch of open carry and concealed carry folks stand up and say, no, you're not. But a lot of the violence that did begin because San Antonio police did make the opening strikes. I don't know if you talk to David Ahmad. He knows a little bit more about that than I do, but I do know that OCT and a few other groups that were open carry did help keep some of the looting at bay.
Yeah, I haven't been in
So that's the reason why I think we need to have.
It cut
Go ahead,
off.
boss. I'm sorry.
Sorry, it just cut out when you were speaking a little bit. But yeah, I haven't heard of much about the San Antonio situations. Only because I haven't lived in San Antonio in a long time. Again, like San Antonio is about 30 minutes away from Bernie. Pretty much, Bernie, Texas is San Antonio. But yeah, I understand about the small regulations that they put in for the open carry and conceal, and they had to do the license to carry BS. And I thought it was. At first, I was really pissed off about it because when they first changed it to where you had to have a license to carry, it had a high price tag on getting that license to carry, but recently they just dropped it down to, I think, at like $40, $40 to get that. I was like, okay, that's a little bit better, compared to like spending like 140.
And they streamlined the requirements too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If I understand right, they've also streamlined the requirements to be able to get a handgun.
Yeah.
But I mean, they did stop. The best thing about it is they didn't stop person-to-person sales.
Yeah, if they did that,
That's the best part about that person-to-person sales.
Yeah, I'd be moving out of Texas.
So it's like, I mean, I think this what's been going on lately has shown that we need people who stand up to protect their neighbors. Definitely, without a doubt. And I'm going to make it very clear. George Floyd is awful. But what has happened since then has not really helped honor George Floyd in any way, especially when you got people coming in and causing issues. I mean, look what happened to that. You might know more about this than I do, but wasn't there a black tobacco shop owner who was beaten up by a bunch of people because he tried to protect his property?
Yeah.
I heard a story about that.
Yeah, there's been a lot.
That's what scares me is that
a lot of
there's
incidents
people.
going on.
I mean, that's why I think that's the reason why it's not just tyrannical government. It's also to protect our friends and our neighbors too.
Yeah, I agree. I've seen.
I think we lost a zombie.
No, zombies. He's just he turned off his camera. But
yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, like there's been a lot of incidents, due to the whole Minnesota incident, the George Floyd incident. The one that I saw that speaks a lot of volume is that you actually seen a group of black protesters protecting an officer who got separated from his group, and there's an angry mob ready to kill this man, again, just for being an officer. And again, I don't vouch much for many officers unless if I actually know them, but that speaks a lot of volume to see 5 strangers stick up and surround that officer and say, nah, you're not gonna, kill this man for, something that happened to someone else, and, name what he did to you. You know what I mean? Like, say what he did to you to harm you, to give you the right to say you're gonna kill this man. Like, you may not like his profession. I don't like his profession, but again, I'm not gonna say you deserve to die for it. You know what I mean? It's a profession that you felt like you should get into, either for a good reason or a bad reason. Either you wanted to do good things or bad things in your life, but in general, people nowadays only see a badge and a gun now. And you know what? If that's giving them the authority to, determine how you're going to live your life, and whatever. But basically what I'm saying is, things could have ended up worse in that situation. I'm glad that it didn't. And I'm glad that there are some people who there still show that we are humans and human beings without resorting to violence, and those who are there to protect others. Like you said, being a neighbor to those, even if you don't agree with them, like being there to protect somebody, even if you don't agree with them. And that's why I leave these open chats and open discussions, because even if you don't agree with me, you can come in here, you can say whatever you want, and I'll accept it. I'll accept whatever you have to say. Yeah, Shane, you can come back in. I got a few more minutes before I have to turn this off, though. I'm just letting everybody get a little fair one about another 10 minutes. So, but yeah. Yeah, Shane, you can come back in if you want, Shane.
Yeah, I mean, that's the reason why we don't. That's why we don't need these really oppressive gun laws. It makes it so much harder to defend ourselves and our neighbors. So much harder.
Yeah, I think any type of
there's a lot of people I don't agree with.
Yeah, anytime there's like restrictive gun laws, it only prevents the law-abiding citizens from getting those guns, and criminals aren't going to follow the laws, which is why those gun laws are indefinitely useless. They're usually just useless.
Yeah.
Hello, Shane.
Let's look at some. There's a California state. Hey, Shane.
How you doing?
There's a lot of states that
Zombie.
Shane. Sorry, movie reference.
I know. It's like I haven't heard it all my life.
I know.
Hey, you guys want to see what my new toy?
Go for it.
You guys weren't here earlier. Can I show them my new toy?
You can go ahead and show it. It's fine.
Okay, cool. I'll be right back.
Yeah, like what were you saying?
I said this will be really good because I love watching. Okay, that looks awesome.
Be prepared. YouTube might kill the stream.
I'm not worried about that. They've already struck down so many of my videos, and just like videos said, this video I'm pretty sure will not be monetized or up for family friendly review because of the title alone. So this
what caliber is that?
There's a 308.
That's okay. Give it to me. It's mine. It's mine. You stole it.
It's not.
It's mine.
No,
I swear to God, it's mine.
It's all mine.
And that's exactly what I want. Ask GTA there.
My laser. I just got my laser scope. Okay, my upper mount scope with my green filter mount, and I can switch it to red filter mount. My upper piton mount that came with it, which it switches from red to green. Okay. So I've got the laser to get it close, unless I want to be Captain Obvious, and then I've got the range finder, and then I can just switch out. So now all I got to do is sight them in, and then that'll take care of that.
Did you build it all yourself?
Yep, from the ground up.
Did you start with a strip down lower? Did you start with an 80%, or how did you start it?
I started with an 80%.
So you had to get a jig and drill your own holes at certain spots and finish it up.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that. How it comes. You have either your own drill bits, or you were able to get the drill bits when you ordered the 80%, right?
I had to get the jig set and the bits, and then I had to modify my drill press, which was a bitch, and then the rest. It's easy once you get everything onto your drill press. It's mindless after that. So, yeah,
because we were just talking about
Shane's house unannounced.
We were just talking about 80%ers versus the strip down lowers.
Yep.
Do you have something to say, Hawkwind?
I was about to say we're not going to Shane's house unannounced.
Don't come to anybody's house unannounced.
I'll tell you what.
I don't live in town, which is why I can go out to my backyard anytime I want to and light it up.
I think I saw you one time in the stream, Shane, and you were barbecuing ribs.
Yes, sir, I was.
And you wouldn't share.
Lupus, I would have come back a whole lot sooner, but my one problem was it was my turn to do dishes, and I don't shirk my duties. Okay, so all right, and no, I had to do them. This time was mine. All right, so when it's your turn, man.
You must be married, bro.
Yeah, I missed those
Yeah.
days.
No, not married.
I'm single.
Not
I
anymore.
used to have 40 acres I go out and shoot on.
Not married anymore. I have friends that come out here and they bring food and whatnot, and we kind of share duties whenever they come out, and
How
so on and
about,
so forth.
I don't know, paper plates or women? I hate to be that guy, but man, I ain't washed this in years. Paper plates,
Dude, we got
plastic
plenty of
forks,
paper plates,
and
but you
shit.
got utensils that got to be used on top of the stove and whatnot. And hoo-ha, and this time it was my turn.
Dishes to
Okay.
cook, dishes
And-
to cook. Yes.
and red Solo cups.
Yeah, no shit.
Solo
We got
cup.
those. Yeah.
Let's have a
Or
party.
aluminum
gotta use the
cans,
pots
dude.
and the
Aluminum
pans.
cans are
That's
great.
a must-have.
You
Yeah,
gotta
because once
use
you
the pots and
once you
pans.
empty out the little can, then they become targets.
Right.
All right, guys. We got 2 minutes left out of that 10 here. But if y'all want to shout out anything before we end the stream?
I'd like
Yeah,
to say,
Joe does. He wants to go, blow me, baby.
no, I'd like to say, G, thanks for inviting me, man. It was nice to see you cats. A couple of you cats I hardly know. Nice meeting you, and I hope that we get to do this again, guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, one
Hey,
thing, Joe.
Cool. Thank you.
One thing, Joe. Tell our host about Pinder.
I know little about Steve Pender.
I was just telling him that I was telling him the one time that I went into a panel, and man, he had him time you out.
It sounds like you on some gay in your feelings shit, man. Is this really the last thing you want to say with 2 minutes left? I'm out, bro.
Oh man. I love Joe, man. He's awesome.
Support your local activists.
Yep.
Support your local,
Support your local activists.
concealed and open carry groups.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah, I need to get my concealed carry license. That's the only thing I need to complete the triad right now.
And so you're going to bow down to the king and get his permission slip right now, just to stay compliant, to keep them out of your biz as much as possible.
I've already gotten pulled over about 3 or 4 times, and those 3 or 4 times were kind of nerve-wracking,
All right, guys.
Yep. And that
All right.
also, by the way, it says zombie, but my channel is Zombie Enforcement Bureau.
Zombie
Yep.
Enforcement Bureau. All
Yep,
right.
I know it. I know it
All right.
well. Catch you later, guys.
Thank you very much for joining us, guys. And
Have a good one.
as a
everybody.
shout out, what I usually like to say is, guys, if you ever want to go ahead and make a donation to me, please do not donate to me. Instead, go to thorn.org. I'd appreciate if you made a donation to that organization instead, which does help prevent human trafficking of young minors. So, again, if you ever want to show support, just watching the video is enough. But if you ever want to do a monetary support, thorn.org is the place to go. I get none of the money. It goes to somebody who can actually help some other people out there in the public. So,
and can you spell that name of that org?
Thorn.org. Here, I'll put it in.
THORN?
Mm-hmm. There you go. Thorn.org. There you go.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds like a good.
All right, folks.
Sounds like
Thanks
a good.
a lot.
Yep. Deuces, everybody.
All
Have
right.
a good one. Remember, always film the cops.
Love, peace, chicken grease, everybody. Take it easy.
Have a good one.